Ryan, were you guys anticipating Garrett Schrader using his legs as much as he did?
Yeah, we had guys spying him, and sometimes we just couldn't bring him down. I thought we had adjusted the way we should have at halftime. Just didn't execute it right. Obviously, got to go watch the tape and figure out what exactly was going on. But bottom line is we got to be better. We got to come up with a better plan, and got to execute.
Yeah, just Ryan, the mistakes tonight. 5 turnovers,
Yeah.
11 penalties. There were 7 fumbles. Only 3 of them were lost. Just comment on that.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about penalties, mental errors, and turnovers will lose you games, and we did that in abundance tonight. Got to go look at why. We've been really good in terms of ball security, through those first 2 games, and have been clean in that aspect in practice. So really got to do a self-evaluation as to why that happened. And ultimately just you got to play cleaner. The penalties came at inopportune moments. The turnovers came at inopportune moments. You never want to turn the ball over, but you especially don't want to do so while you're in the red area. When you got points, on the board. And when you do that against a team like Syracuse that's explosive, it's hard to win a game.
Ryan, you now have 3 games worth of, the 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s and just the failures to convert. What have you seen in the first 2 games when you watch the film that, it's just not working there?
Yeah, I mean, we're as soon as the ball snapped, we're playing in our own backfield, and that's an issue. So we got to get creative. Got to understand, who we are and how we can go get a yard. And like I said, it ultimately starts with me and making sure that we've got a good plan together to put our players in successful positions.
Coach, and the pass interference calls specifically just really seem to really extend drives and give them new life. Is that just fundamental mistakes, or is that just bad calls, or just what led to those PIs?
Yeah, there was obviously I haven't watched the tape yet, but I know a couple of times we got to play the ball while it's in the air. Those 50-50 balls. If you get your head around and are making an attempt at trying to get the ball, they usually keep the flag in a pocket. When they extend drives, usually that results in points, and that's just the nature of the game on 3rd downs. And so we got to be cleaner.
On a more positive note, I thought your receivers did a great job competing and winning balls and making some tough catches. Abdur had a breakout game. Dion made some great plays. TJ, Max, Claire. As a unit, is this kind of what you expected as far as the receiving game?
I mean, yeah, they do a good job of throwing and catching. Offensively, I felt like we were moving the ball, all night. We just turned the ball over in inopportune times. You can't do that against a quality opponent. The fact that we're still in it, going into the 4th quarter, I was shocked. We didn't play clean enough. Didn't play with enough detail, so it's hard to win a game when you don't do that against a team like Syracuse.
Ryan Hudson, 32 for 46 for 323. Is the unfortunate thing about the fumbles and the turnovers that it seemed to, maybe that could have even been better if the rhythm hadn't been stolen from him a little bit. How was he handling the adversity?
I thought he handled it well. He's. If you know him, nothing really ever rattles him. He obviously is human, so he gets frustrated. But I didn't feel like he was pressing. I felt like he was trying to take what the defense was giving him. Then they run a complicated scheme, and I thought he did a good job of deciphering where to go with the ball in the throw game. We just turned the ball over and had penalties and like the worst times possible when you're trying to go claw yourself out of a hole. And so we got to do a better job. From a coach's standpoint and making sure that we're harping on the details and not doing things to get us beat.
What's your message to the team after a game like this?
It's disappointing. It's I feel like I failed them this week, and so we got to the bottom line is we got a game Friday night that's against Wisconsin, and we haven't beaten Wisconsin around here in a long time. So we got to do a self-evaluation to make sure that we're not making the same mistakes that we made tonight moving forward, but ultimately we got to put this game away and get ready for a gauntlet of Big Ten slate that's coming up here soon. So We'll get better. Like I've been saying since the season started, this team will continue to improve as the year goes. Just unfortunate that we made the mistakes that we made tonight, and played the way we did.
Don't think Kydron Jenkins played in the second half. Can you talk about the general health of the team, and maybe, I know it's early, but any update on Kydron?
I haven't. I just know they said he was out for the rest of the game, and I haven't been able to talk to the docs yet. Kydron's a tough kid, and if he can play next week, he'll play, and if he can't, then we next man up, and we'll go.
Brian, you've had a couple of these situations where it's 4th and 1 inside the red zone, inside the 10, and you've gone for it. Is that just a belief that we should be able to get 1 yard? Is that a lack of belief in the kicking game, or what's, I guess, the decision-making process that you make there in that situation?
When you're down that tight and you've got a yard or less, you'd like to think percentage-wise you'd be able to get them. We haven't, and so I need to reevaluate the decisions I'm making, and also when we decide to go for it, how we're going about doing that, because obviously it hasn't worked through 3 games.
Coach, when a ball carrier puts the ball on the ground, does it become a mental thing at that point, or is it something the defense is kind of focusing on? Just how does one fumble turn into 7?
That's a great. Obviously each play has its own life. I don't know if one fumble affects the next, just because of the nature of the game. And we haven't had an issue with it up until now, you know what I mean? And so, I got to look at practice and our ball security drills. But like I said, it's been clean up until this point. So I'll go back and look at the tape to see where we can get better.
Coach, Will Help got some action for the first time tonight. What kind of impact does he bring as a true freshman in the defense?
Yeah, Will is a long, athletic kid. And he's earned the right to be where he's at on the depth chart. I thought he did a good job when Kydron went down. Obviously, everybody can play better, so we'll look at the tape and improve where we can.